Guys, this is Mike from Better Me, and it's really great to be back with you guys again today. And what I want to talk about is actually 3 things that adults and parents can learn about today so that they can actually pass it down to their kids, and their kids can learn about this, and as their kids grow up and learn, they can pass it down to their kids, and so on and so on. So the 3 things that I picked today are money as a mindset. I also picked how money works, and then learning about taxes. So the first thing, we talk about money as a mindset. Money as a mindset means how you actually think about money. Now, I know when I was a kid, I was told probably on the daily that people with money are evil. There wasn't enough money out there. People that have money don't want to give anything away or don't want to give anything to charity. The more they make, the more they keep. And those are actually really false stories. There's plenty of money out there, and I know plenty of people that have money that donate to a ton of worthy causes, and a lot of people that donate money to worthy causes don't even publicize it or televise it because they want to do it in private. They want to do it in secret. So it's really important to really start to formulate a good money mindset, a good mindset around money. Saying that money is evil or people with money are evil, that really doesn't allow us to attain wealth. That doesn't allow us to attain abundance. That actually keeps us away from attaining abundance with money. And so we really want to make sure that we reframe that mindset to talk about the good when it comes to money, that people with money actually donate to charity. Actually, people with money help our communities. People with money make things better because with money, you can build schools. With money, you can feed the hungry. With money, you can do all kinds of projects that you couldn't originally do if you didn't have money. Now, I'm not saying all people with money are good people, but I'm saying there are people out there that are very wealthy, that donate to very worthy causes that make a difference in our communities, in our country, and in this world. So the next one is how money works. So just a general understanding of how our economy works, how money functions is detrimental in today's society, especially with everything going on today, with the economy the way that it is today, with inflation the way that it is today. It's really important to know how our economy works, how transactions work, how buying and selling influences the economy, how supply and demand influences the economy. That when supply is low and demand is high, it's going to make prices go up. How when demand is low and supply is high, it's actually going to make prices decrease. That's a really important equation. And so learning these basic principles about how interest rates work, about how supply and demand works, about really all the different things that interconnect our economy and make things either go up and down in price, or make the stock market fluctuate, or make gas prices go up and down. All of those things are really important to know so that we can then pass that on to our kids, and so that they understand those different concepts and they can start to use that as they grow up. They can make intelligent decisions based on the information that we give them. And so the last thing is taxes. So taxes is a huge piece of this. So when I stopped thinking like an employee and I started thinking like a business owner, a ton of doors opened to me. And so the tax code, if you look at it, in my opinion, it was written for the business owner. It was written for businesses. It wasn't written for individuals. Usually individuals, they're W-2 employees. They have their taxes taken out automatically by a parameter that they set on a particular form when they start their employment. And based on however they fill out that form, with whatever number they choose on that form, either you're going to have the most taxes taken out or you're going to have the least taxes taken out. And believe it or not, a lot of people choose to have the most taxes taken out of their paycheck because they're actually afraid to owe the government money. So they actually overpay the government and they give the government more money than they actually need to. Now, the tax code written for businesses is what I said earlier. What I mean by that is there are so many things called deductions that you can take as a business owner. So as an example, as a business owner, if I bring in $100,000 per year, that's $100,000 prior to paying any taxes, okay? So I have to pay a certain amount of taxes on that $100,000. But if I have qualified expenses, whether it be maybe deducting my car, maybe it be deducting my gas, my computer expenses, my paper, my pens, my ink, any kind of furniture that I buy for my office. Let's just say I make $100,000 per year. If I have $50,000 in qualified expenses, then that means I only need to pay taxes on $50,000. So $100,000 minus $50,000 in expenses equals $50,000. So really, the taxable portion of my income is $50,000. And so a lot of people can't take advantage of this because they don't own a business, they don't own real estate. And so they're not able to take advantage of these various deductions. But if you own a business and you can deduct these type of expenses, or if you own a home and you rent it out and you can actually deduct the expenses on the home, such as a new roof, new toilets, new appliances, new windows, you can deduct all of those expenses. And so this is really important to note that there are ways to be able to keep more of the money, the hard-earned money that you work for, into your pocket. And this is definitely one of those ways, and that's to take advantage of the tax code. And that tax code, I believe, was written for business owners and real estate owners. They can take the most advantage of the tax code because they're allowed to deduct a ton of expenses on their tax returns, depending on what type of business it is, depending on how much real estate they have, how many homes they have. They should be able to deduct quite a bit on their tax return. And just getting back to how money actually works, knowing how money actually works also starts to give you options. When you look at the economy and you say, I have $100,000 right now, so if you're knowledgeable about the way the economy works, then you say to yourself, what are my options? Well, my options are I can put it into a savings account. My options are I can put it into a CD. My options are a money market. Maybe my options are putting it into the stock market, right? Maybe my options are putting it into a indexed ETF or something like that, where there's a different mix of all kinds of securities. And so if you know how that works, then you can go ahead and put your money somewhere that actually yields you more than, say, if you were just to put it in a savings account. If you knew how the economy works and you said to yourself, well, if inflation is about 7.2 or 7.5%, and they're giving me about 0.1% at my bank, then I'm technically losing money every single day. But if I put it into some kind of a growth account, like the stock market, like life insurance, you can actually beat out inflation potentially in the long term. And so really, the way I look at it is I tell my clients to put 3 to 6 months of savings in their accounts. And it's really for expenses, and it's really for a big purchase. And so if you have, or investments. So expenses, a big purchase, or investments, really anything else, you should be taking that money and you should be trying to make it grow as quickly and as efficiently as possible by using high yield investments and starting to understand what that means. Because if it's in your savings account with the inflation rate today, then you're technically losing money and you're not going to outpace the inflation. So you want to make sure that you have a solid understanding of how money works, so you have options of where to put your money. So you have choices for where to put your money. So you don't have to feel like the only place that you can put your money is in a savings account, because there's definitely more options out there than just your local savings account. There's actually a higher interest rate potentially for online banks. So banks that aren't brick and mortar, they sometimes give you a higher interest rate than your regular banks would be that are brick and mortar banks. So that's something else to look into as well. So again, it's stock market, it's real estate, it's banks that are not brick and mortar banks, more online banks that would give you a higher interest rate, and also life insurance. There are options to be able to build your cash inside a life insurance policy. It's something similar to an index fund, where the life insurance just follows the index on the open market. And the cool thing about the life insurance policy is if the market dips, your money is not lost. You end up with the same amount of money you had when you started, plus any gains. If the market loses, you don't lose that money. And that's something we could talk about further down the line. If you guys have any questions, you can always email me about that and I can give you more information about the life insurance piece. But those other pieces are definitely other options that you could use to be able to build your money, build your growth a little bit more efficiently and effectively, rather than just a savings account. So guys, I hope this video helped. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at info@5pillarfinancial.com. That's info@5pillarfinancial.com. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.